Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a little comparison video for you. So I'm going to be comparing the Too Faced glitter glue, a holy grail product for me, and the NYX glitter glue, which is a little bit newer to me. I was talking about this in a recent video that I had gotten rid of my old Too Faced glitter glue because it had just gone bad. It was just time to throw it out, but it's always been my favorite. I use it a lot. The only reason I hadn't finished that older tube is because I didn't used to use it as much as I do now. I only used to use it when I would use pigments or glitters, which wasn't all the time. Now I very often put it underneath shimmers, most of the time actually. I just find that it makes them more vibrant and holds onto them better, and it helps with transfer onto my into my crease on my upper lid because I have slightly hooded eyes. But when I ran out of this, I thought I would try the NYX glitter primer and the NYX pigment primer. I don't really love the pigment primer. I don't really get what the difference is supposed to be, but I don't find that one to be as sticky. Like, I like that it gets nice and tacky, just like the Too Faced one does, and I feel like it holds on to whatever I put on top of it better. Now, when I was trying this, I was wondering if it was as good or maybe not as good as my Too Faced one because I hadn't really compared the two. I hadn't used the Too Faced one in a while, and I thought, you know what, maybe that would be a great idea for a video and just for me to also find out, but then also show you the difference, and try one on one eye and one on the other eye. I felt like that would be the best way to really compare the two. And some of you thought that was a great idea as well, so that's why I have the NYX one on this side and the Too Faced one on this side. So I'm going to basically, obviously I filmed this already, but you'll be able to see me apply on both sides, and I give some initial thoughts, but I'm going to wear this for the rest of the evening. So it is on the later side now. It's a little bit later in the afternoon, but I figured this would be a good idea to do this today because I'm going to a concert this evening. I'm not going to be outdoors necessarily, but it's still going to be in a crowded, stadium type of thing for a concert. I'm seeing 30 Seconds to Mars, which is my favorite band ever, so I'm super excited. But I figured it would be a good time to test both of these out. So when I get back from the concert this evening, I will do a quick check-in, just sort of take a look and see if I notice any big differences. There are some differences that I've noticed right away. You'll see that when I actually apply them, but I just need to give it some time, and it may be more than just this video. I may have to come back, and let you know how things have gone once I've tried both of these out, but I just wanted to see if there was any difference between the two, and you can be the judge as well. You can tell me what you think, but I really wanted to see if there's a difference because I certainly love to save money when I can and buy, a less expensive product if it's as good. But if it's not as good as the more expensive one, I don't mind paying a little extra to get a better product. So that's how I feel about those things. All that being said, if you want to see me compare these two primers, then just keep on watching. So as I'm sure you can see, I did like all of my crease work in that, and we may go back and fix that up once I actually put down the pigments, but this is where I'm stopping and I'm gonna go in. So let's see. I'll do the NYX glitter glue on this side, and then I will do the Too Faced on this side. So if I forget that, then I can go back to the video and check it, but that's what I'm gonna do. NYX on this side, Too Faced on that side. So we'll do one eye at a time just so that it doesn't like dry too quickly or anything like that. And I'm actually gonna use two separate pigments today, partly because I thought that would be fun, but also because I feel like then it will show maybe two different products. One is the Inglot pigment in 22. It's a little bit chunky. It's not like super smooth, so I think that will be good to see how that works. And then also this little Too Faced one. This was in the Vegas Nay collection, so I don't know if you can get this anymore. It's called Nude Beam, but if it is, then I'll link it down below. By the way, anything else that's on my face, I will link everything down below, so make sure and check that out. But anyway, this is a very fine pigment, but it does have some glitter in it. So I just thought that both of those would be a good test to see how these compare. And I'm gonna use very little of both. You really need such a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. You can always add a little bit more, but like really tiny amount because you don't want it to be too wet. You want it to be just like nice and tacky. And of course I'm gonna do the darker one towards the outer, like sort of in the middle towards the outer. And then I'll do the Nude Beam one towards the middle. So it's feeling nice and tacky. I'm not gonna wet my brush or anything like that. I'm just gonna take it, tap off a little bit of the excess. We can build it up if we need to, but I'm also, hoping I'm not gonna get any fallout. So put that one there. And I did wet my brush just a tiny bit because I felt like I needed to grip the product just a little bit more. And I'm just going to flip the same brush over for the Nude Beam. And that's just going to go there, and I'll blend the two. It doesn't really look like I even have two separate pigments there, which is fine. I just thought I'd try two separate ones, and it just adds a little bit of a multi-dimensional type of look. So I'm going to now prime the other side with the Too Faced glitter glue. And now I want to mention that I have used both of these before. So I've more recently been trying the NYX one, and I've been using the Too Faced one for a long time. Mine went bad, so I got rid of it, and I tried the NYX one, and I didn't feel like it was working as well as the way that I remembered my Too Faced one working, but it had been a while since I had used the Too Faced one, so I thought, well, let me get the Too Faced one again and try it out and see, you know, if it's as good as I remember, if it's actually better than the NYX one, you know, and how they compare. And I thought the best way to tell would be to actually do one on one eye, one on the other, because, you know, then I could actually compare them at the same time and see. And I'm not only trying to see, you know, how it lasts, like as far as like the vibrancy, but I'm also wanting to see, because I have slightly hooded eyes, I'm gonna pause and do this just so that it doesn't dry too quickly on me. So hold on a second. Okay, so while I wait for that to kind of dry, and then I'll go back in with my palette that I used. So what I was saying is that I also want to see how the transfer is, because I have slightly hooded eyes, as you can see, not like 100%, but I definitely have hooded eyes. And what I very often find with either pigments or even just shimmers is that very often it will transfer back up into my crease when I don't want it to. And it's, you know, just a little bit of an inconvenience, and it's something that I just don't always want the look of when I'm, you know, wearing shadows like these. And that's why I very often use some type of glitter glue even with shimmers, because I find that that can sometimes help that, you know, prevent that transfer from happening. And I wasn't really noticing that it was helping with the NYX one, and I didn't remember having that much of an issue with it with the Too Faced one. So I wanted to try and see, you know, at the end of the night, if I notice any of that transfer, because that's something that is definitely a concern for me, and it may be for you if you also have hooded eyes. But even if you don't, this may still be helpful as far as like, you know, is the NYX one as good, even though it's less expensive? You know, or is the Too Faced one really worth the extra money? I want to point out, let's see if we can find out how much is in each of these to see if they actually have the same amount of product. This is interesting. The NYX one has 10 milliliters or 0.33 fluid ounces, and the Too Faced one has 11 grams, 0.35 ounces. Not a huge difference, but still you get more in the Too Faced one. The other thing though that I want to point out as I'm looking at this is that the NYX one has a 6-month shelf life once it's been opened, and the Too Faced one has 12 months shelf life once it's been opened. So even though you might get a better price for this one, you might not be able to use and get your money's worth out of this one as much as you would with this one, because you have a little more time to spare with this one, double the amount of time. So just something to keep in mind, but we're still gonna see how it works. I will point out that I did notice I got some fallout from both of them, not a big deal, nothing huge, but I noticed just a little bit more with the NYX, I think. Now that certainly can be solved by doing your eyes first. I just chose to do everything before the eyes because of the way that I'm filming this. But you can certainly combat that issue by doing your eyes first with really any type of shadows, but just wanted to point that out. I'm gonna go back in and just sort of intensify my outer corner. And I did already notice just a little bit of transfer on the top on both sides before I like went in and did my extra crease work and corner work and stuff like that. But we're just gonna see how it holds up through the evening. So I'm gonna go in and do some liner and mascara and my lips, and I'll be back. All right, so everything is done. I probably will wear a different lip later because I want it to last through the concert and everything else, but this is what I put on for just now. But I will link, you know, all of it down below. I will say I still am noticing some fallout more on the NYX side than on the Too Faced side. So just something to keep in mind, even though like I already swept away as much as I could, I still noticed a little bit more. I don't know if you can really tell. But it fell down a little bit, more so on that side. Not a huge amount, but you know, definitely something to notice in case you're wearing, you know, something that is a little bit darker than what I'm wearing on my eyes. So, but this is all I'm going to say to you for now. I will check in when I get home from the concert, which will be much later. You know, it is 3:20 now. So obviously I am putting this on, you know, later in the afternoon, but I'm going to be out, you know, the whole rest of the evening. So I figured that would be okay. That would be plenty of time because I'm sure I'm going to be home on the later side tonight. So I will see you a little later. Well, hello everyone. I am now home from the concert. It is pretty late. I'm gonna be kind of quiet because my daughter is sleeping in the next room, but I just wanted to come on and talk about my makeup. First of all, I actually think that my foundation held up pretty well considering, although I'm getting a little bit of something there. But I was outside even though I said that I wasn't going to be, but actually I was, and it was very hot. Just taking a look at my makeup. This was the Too Faced side. This was the next side. I actually see a little more transfer on the Too Faced side. Interesting. I did have more fallout on the NYX side, but I had a little more transfer on the Too Faced side. So I'll have to keep trying and see if I continue to notice that. But I do find that kind of interesting. So I don't know, maybe there are pros and cons to both of them. I don't know. But overall, I am happy with the lasting power of both sides. I think that they both look pretty good. So again, you know, I mentioned about the shelf life of both of them. You will get probably more for your money when it comes to the Too Faced one, just because you can use it for double the amount of time and you get more product. But it just all comes down to how much you use a product like that. So the next one may be enough for you. And I think the point is it's good enough. So even if, you know, you like the performance of the Too Faced one better, this one did pretty well too. So, yeah, that's what I think. I'm not so happy about this guy, but hopefully I can remedy that. That was probably all the sweatiness. So I'm going to, oh my God, look at this mess. I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. But I just wanted to come on and show you what everything looked like. So back to the end of the video. All right, everyone, that is it for this comparison video. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried either of these primers and if you have an opinion on either of them, or if you've tried any other brands that you think I should try and that you like maybe better than these. I would really love to hear that. Please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.